Hi everyone, Taylor at TJ Motors. I've currently got a new update on my SYM Simply 50 2015. Got the new engine for it, and it's a really big difference. This is the 50cc head. As you can see, it's quite small. I'm not sure how many millimeters, and then as you can see, this is the 150cc. It's a big difference. Even the 80cc compare to the 150cc is still quite a bit of a difference. So, and I just think it's so mad the way, like, the size difference, and only that size 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 matters in my eyes, because the smaller the piston, it's weird the way it makes such a difference to the power and the ignition and everything else. Plus, actually saying that, this engine came with new carb. This is much bigger than my other one, way bigger. HD lead. What else did it come? HD lead, new carb, new whatever it's called. I forgot what it's called. You can probably correct me on this. That, and then new CDI, AC CDI, and then I think this is the solenoid, not too sure. And yeah, but I'm hoping, I connected this up to my 50cc with the fuel lines, and I didn't put the stator on, because my bike's DC and that one's AC. But for me to change that to AC, all you have to do is put a wire from the stator plug-in into the CDI, and then that would make it an AC. So, and as you can see as well, the clutch is that's a 50cc. That's a 150cc big boy. But also, one thing I'm going to have to do for this, yeah, it's even got a bigger starter motor, is I think on the wheel it comes up to about there, so I'm going to need to put a little spacer in, just so the wheel goes in there with the shoe brakes, and then, because it comes out a bit too long I think, and it is quite like a hassle to change it all in there and stuff, and the brake normally runs underneath, but it's only a small little change, because where I mount the engine I can just pull the brake line up across through here into the lever, and it's massive. The crankcase is a big difference. This is my other one, the stock one that it come with. I had a bit of trouble with the Kickstarter, as you can see, them little metal shavings everywhere. So I had one from that spare little 50cc engine over there. So I went and put that on. It looks a bit too shabby, but it still works when the battery runs out. So I hooked all my I hooked the vacuum line up, fuel line, the pulse wire, choke, everything like that. And then it cranked over for a few minutes, but then it lost charge because I got a dodgy battery on that. So I'm pretty sure it's going to work. I just think it's not got enough power to actually start it. So I'll probably run that in the morning tomorrow for about 20-30 minutes or so, get a bit of power in the battery. And then once I've done that, because I did recharge the battery and then start it, but it didn't start because, me being me, I forgot to put the pulse cable in. And if the pulse cable isn't in, the motor's not going to start. It acts as a kill switch. And that's a bit of a bummer, because if you didn't have the pulse on the starter, which is this wire, if you didn't have this one, it would have been unrestricted. Because what happens is as this stator moves round, that's a little magnet, like a little contact point there. As this moves round, at a certain RPM, it stops, cutting the spark out. So it's restricted to 30, when these motors can max out probably about 40, 45, 50, on some peds 50 if you're lucky on 2 strokes. This is a 4-stroke. And the way you can tell they are an AC is they have this red wire here, and the yellow, I'm not too sure yet, because this is a different fitting to mine, so I'm gonna have to play about with it. So I've got to play about with that, and I'm hoping I don't need a new wiring loom. Otherwise, if I need a new wiring loom, because of the way my bike is with the concealed lights and indicators, that means I've got to wire up all these again, wire up these, and maybe possibly wire up the ignition coil as well, and even this, which is the little safety. When it's like that, it won't start, it'll just crank over but won't get a spark, just like a ground out. And so where is it, that, so here I don't know if you can see it, but it's very, very dim, but white, and then yellow, and then, as I said, you have the blue for your stator, which is the one, that little silver bit there is the blue. So yeah, look. So hopefully that all turns out good, and yeah, because that is going to make a big difference. And I might even, if this is the type of engine I think it is, I'm not sure, because you have the A case and the B case. I'm not sure if this is A or B, I'm not sure how to find out yet, because it doesn't have an engine number on the side, where over here this would, as you can see, I don't know, yeah, little numbers, but it has this little number here, which is 2019 model, which I'm pretty surprised about and happy about. As you can see, W2019-11, which is a bit of a coincidence, 911. And yeah, so hopefully that goes all well. And this moped, this is the Adley Fox, I think 2001, yeah, 2001. This is running, it's just illegal on the road because the logbook hasn't come back, because this bike is old. When there was papered registrations, this bike had an error. Someone's written down the VIN number different, because it's all right on the bike, all right there, matches there, but one digit is one up on the logbook, which is a big problem. So you have to contact the weird what is it, Hershey Industrial and stuff like that, and got to go through a long old process, because this is the old one. This has had this has been reconditioned, and it has had a bloody good job of recondition. The guy who I bought it off took good care of it. It's got new suspension, the kickstarter on it, the compression is very good on it, as you can hear. But at the moment I was just sorting out the throttle cable, because I had a problem with this. This is off my old one, because I swapped the grips around. This is the SYM 50 grips. This little part here does not fit in the little metal case. So what I'm either going to do is see if I can cut that down a little bit, sand it down so it's smaller, or I'll just buy some new grips for it or something like that. But yeah, overall it's a nice bike, but I've got the original headlight and OEM parts for it. Yeah, I think I've got a whole wiring harness for it, and the old analog dash. But this is the old headlight, which I don't mind, because I'm an old style person. I won't necessarily be unpleased with that, because I don't mind that. It looks people might say, oh yeah, LED's better, blah blah blah, but I do like the old headlights. And as I showed you before, the massive change on the air filter. This is the unrestricted air filter. As you would see, this is the restricted air filter. I think it is a bit stupid. They do go a bit overboard on it, because they expect a little metal tubing that comes out of here that is covered by a piece of metal, so the air can only get sucked in and it's not being forced in by like the aerodynamic sort of stuff. And it goes round here all the way up to this end, and then goes through this side and through into the carb. And I think that's a bit of a pain in the arse, to be honest, but yeah.